Ladies and gentlemen, listen carefully, because what I'm about to tell you is disturbing, unsettling, and absolutely critical to understand. There comes a point when a person doesn't just act destructively, they become destruction itself. When a narcissist fully surrenders to darkness, when they abandon all conscience, when they embrace malevolence with open arms, that's when they've crossed a line most people can't even comprehend. Pay attention. You see, people think evil is some abstract force, some fairy tale idea. No, evil is real. It moves through people, it seduces them, it takes hold of their soul little by little until they no longer resist. And narcissists, they are the perfect hosts, the perfect vessels, because their entire existence revolves around deception, manipulation, and the relentless pursuit of power. Now, here's what you need to understand. This is not just arrogance. This is not just selfishness. This is something much darker. When a narcissist reaches the point of no return, when they finally sell their soul, you will see three undeniable signs. These are not just personality traits. These are spiritual warnings. These are red flags that signal something truly sinister has taken place. And if you don't recognize them, if you dismiss them, then you are walking straight into the hands of someone who no longer belongs to themselves. Someone who has given up their humanity in exchange for something far, far worse. Think about it. Have you ever met someone who drains the life out of every room they enter, who feeds off suffering, who manipulates with such ease, with such calculated precision that it feels inhuman? That is not normal. That is not just a bad person. That is someone who has stepped beyond the threshold. And here's the harsh reality. Once they cross that line, they do not come back. You cannot reason with them. You cannot save them because they don't want to be saved. They have chosen deception over truth, destruction over creation, power over love. And if you allow them into your life, if you entertain their games, if you think you can outsmart them, you are playing with fire. So listen closely, because I'm about to reveal the three terrifying signs that a narcissist has fully given themselves to evil. If you recognize even one of these signs in someone close to you, run, get away, protect yourself. You are not just dealing with a toxic person, you are dealing with something much, much worse. They used to wear a mask. They used to pretend. There was a time when they at least made an effort to convince people they were decent, that they had some level of humanity left in them, but not anymore. Because when a narcissist fully surrenders to darkness, when they have sold their soul to evil, they don't just hurt people, they enjoy it. And that is where the real horror begins. At first, it's subtle. You start noticing a change in their reactions. They don't just argue anymore, they mock. They don't just manipulate, they savor the destruction they create. There's a twisted satisfaction in their eyes when they watch someone break down, a smirk when they see pain, a glimmer of pleasure when they know they've shattered. That's when they know they own you. There was a time when they pretended, a time when they wore the mask of morality, when they played the role of someone who at least respected faith, decency, and truth. But that time is gone. Now, they don't just reject morality, they mock it. They don't just ignore faith, they despise it. And if you pay attention, you'll see it in the way they speak, in the way they carry themselves, in the way they react when confronted with anything pure, anything good, anything sacred. They don't just avoid truth, they attack it. They belittle those who hold on to faith, scoff at those who believe in higher principles, and tear down anyone who dares to live with honesty and integrity. Why? Because deep down, truth exposes them. Faith reminds them of what they will never be. And morality, it is a mirror they cannot stand to look into. So instead of facing it, they destroy it. Watch them closely. The moment someone speaks about honor, about love, about sacrifice, they roll their eyes, they smirk, they sneer. Why? Because those things threaten them. Goodness repels them. They cannot stand the presence of something pure because it reminds them of their own emptiness.
True.
And rather than change, rather than seek
Jesus.
redemption, they would rather corrupt everything around them. They would rather drag others into the darkness than admit that light even exists. They will mock faith openly, laughing at the idea of accountability, at the idea of a higher power that sees through their deception. They act as if they are untouchable, as if they are their own gods, as if nothing and no one can hold them accountable. And that's when you know they have crossed the line, because once someone believes they answer to no one, once they see themselves as the highest authority, there is nothing they won't do. And here's the chilling part. They don't just reject morality for themselves, they try to destroy it in others. They will test you, tempt you, push you to abandon your own values. They will ridicule your beliefs, make you feel foolish for having principles, try to convince you that integrity is a weakness. They want you to give in. They want you to abandon the things that make you strong, because the weaker you become, the more power they have. And the moment you stand your ground, the moment you refuse to bend, you will see their true nature. The mask will slip, the charm will fade, and what's left is something cold, something cruel, something that hates the very idea of goodness. They will lash out, rage, attack, not because they are strong, but because they cannot stand to be in the presence of something they cannot corrupt. And that's when you will know beyond a shadow of a doubt, this is not just a narcissist. This is something far darker.